Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology. We're looking at the semi-final in the Australian Women's Open between Rabykina and Azarenka. This match is scheduled to start at 7:30. I have been noticing they're starting about 7:45 or so. If we look at this chart here, you can see Uranus is right on the midheaven here. Now this is going to be a feature for the next couple of nights. Wasn't quite close enough last night when Djokovic played, but it is going to be a very important influence over the next couple of nights. So looking at this game here, Rabykina quickly. Rabykina is the favourite, so she's the Cancerian ascendant, ruled by the moon in Aries. So we use the ruler of Aries, which is Mars, to represent Rabykina, and Venus rules the 10th house. Azarenka is the underdog, so she's going to be represented by Capricorn and Saturn. Scorpio, the ruler is Mars, but that's already ruling the first house, so we can't use that. So looking at this, the moon is going to form a sextile to Mars in 1 degree. That's one for the favourite Rabykina. Its final aspect is a square to Mercury, about 3 degrees. Mercury rules the part of fortune, so that's another one for the favourite Rabykina. And looking at the anti-scion positions, we can see that Mars is within a degree of the ascendant, the anti-scion of Mars, which once again represents the favourite. So that's another one for Rabykina. So a couple for the favourite there. But if we go back to this chart here, Uranus on the MC is very important because it's probably enough to overpower those other things. Now Uranus represents excitement. It doesn't necessarily rule upsets unless it's afflicted, but it does rule excitement in close games. The other thing you can see is Neptune potentially is opposing the part of fortune. Frawley doesn't mention anything about that. It says possibly at the underdog. And the moon will sextile Mars in about 1 degree, which is about 2 hours time. And that would be indicative of probably be in the 3rd set. How does Rabykina line up to Uranus especially? Well, Uranus is past a conjunction to her Saturn, but it is square Uranus, her natal Uranus, potentially square her moon. That's not great. She does have Saturn applying to a trine to her Sun and Mars. Saturn comes into play about 9:30, so that would be the 3rd set if this match is still going. An important progression for Rabykina is that her progress Mercury, so she is a Gemini, so Mercury rules her progress Sun, is trine Pluto. It is now separating 40 minutes, still within orb, but you can see the Moon and Mars are going to be aligning with that Mercury and Pluto, especially after that 1 hour mark. Progress Sun is conjunct Mercury, so that is potentially another positive for her, but she looks better as the match wears on, in my opinion. Azarenka, she's a Leo. Potentially she has her moon in Cancer. We don't know exactly where, but floating around the ascendant, which is helpful. The aspect Uranus is making to her is semi-square her Jupiter, which is very nice indeed, preferable to what Rabykina has. She starts off with the moon trine her Sun, which is helpful, but then the moon in about 30 minutes will square her Saturn. So she has her Sun quincunx Saturn. Now I vaguely remember from 10 years ago when that aspect was activated, she still ended up winning. She was number 1 in the world at that point in time. But about 1 hour's time, it tends to show that Rabykina will start coming into her own the longer the match goes on. So looking at this in summary, Frawley method is pointing to the favourite Rabykina. I think Uranus on the MC favours Azarenka, and that's very important. I think she has the upper hand the first 45 minutes or so, and then I think Rabykina will come back. So I've gone for Rabykina 2 sets to 1. We have picked Rabykina to make the final. Sabalenka's looking pretty good, as Crocop has mentioned. So that's what we're thinking. If you want to see some more, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.